All right, gang. So this is part two. I just wanted to explain a few more things. Like I said, price will go to that area of interest before deciding if it wants to head back up or not. Okay, so we knew it was in a downtrend. Like I said, we looked at the 4 hour. For the 4 hour, it's going down. The 4 hour in the daily will tell you exactly what's going on, and the 1 hour will tell you exactly what's going on. Okay, so we're seeing this triple candlestick pattern right here. 3 candlesticks, red heading back down. Look, it's at 1781. It's going to go to 1780 right now, and eventually probably start wicking out there, start consolidating, wicking before deciding if it wants to head back down or not. Okay, so we're going to see what price wants to do. We're just going to play it by ear. You're just going to look at the charts and see what price wants to do. Okay. Um, what you want to do is you want to wait for the retest. All right. So you want to wait for price to retest. Okay. So if you missed that trade in the morning, you could have waited for price to retest this level right here, 1785. It retested that area one time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. It retested, and eventually it broke through. Okay, once it breaks through, then you can get in, right? Once the aggressive trader, once it breaks through the trend line, you get in for sales. Okay, so you have to wait for price to retest, and once price retests and it breaks this trend line or breaks this structure, it lets you know that this uptrend structure is no longer in effect, then you can get in for sales. Okay, all right, so that's what we did. I just waited for price to break that retest. Okay, it would have faked out a lot of people, because a lot of people thought it would have kept on going up, but no, uh, it was just a fake out. Eventually, we seen this shooting star. We seen this Murbozo candlestick right here. Also, you want to look at see what the candlesticks are doing. Right, the candlesticks are telling you exactly what price wants to do. You see that it's selling red candlesticks. There's a lot of red candlesticks more than green. You see more red candlesticks more than green, meaning that sellers are in control. So you want to look at the candlesticks. You want to see what level is price retesting off of. A lot of wicks means that the more wicks that you see, means that the more wicks, the more times you see more wicks, this means that you should go against that trade. Okay, you should go against it. Okay, the more wicks you see. Okay, so we seen a wick here, we seen a wick here. Boom, eventually broke through. Okay, once it broke through, that's when we got in for a sell at 1784. All right, so 1785 is the key, is another like mid level between 1780. These are our levels right here, 1780. We're waiting for price to go to this area again, 1790 and 1785. It went all the way up to 1787, 1786 before heading back down, eventually breaking through. Okay, and continuation in downtrend. We knew it was in a downtrend. Okay, it was continuation. We were just retesting for the day. Okay, boom. So it's how you can tell. Okay, it's how you can tell. All right, so it went up. Once it broke the trend line, boom, we got in for sale. Okay, another right here, another trend line right here. You could draw one more right here. A few more you can draw, but another one right here. Boom. Where did it go to? Went right to 1785. Price will do the same thing in the past. You can see in the past it went to 1785 before it went down in the past. Boom, 1785 again before it went down in the past. Okay, so price will continue to do the same thing over and over again. Okay, you have to go back and look at what price did in the past. Go scroll to the left and see what price did in the past, and it will tell you what price is going to do ultimately in the future. All right, so that's basically how you can tell what price is going to do. Okay, and what direction is going in. All right, so we looked at the minute here. Once it broke the trend line, get in. Once it breaks the trend line, it retests. If you missed that one, you could have waited for the retest. Once it retested at 1785, 1784, boom, you could have got in right there. Uh, and it would have retested one more time, boom, and after that, it's off to the races, off to the races. Okay, so you want to wait for price. You want to see what price is doing. Okay, you want to look at the candlesticks, and you want to see what price action is doing when it's telling you what the market is doing. If it's breaking through and it's wicking a lot, and it breaks through, it's most likely going to retest and then break through and then continuation to the overall trend, which is a downtrend. Okay, you can see we're in a downtrend. So just wanted to explain that to y'all. So you'll be more aware. Make sure you like and subscribe and like these videos as much as you can. And you know, I'll post as much more videos as I can for y'all game. So yeah, so you see the trend line right here. Draw the trend line A to B. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it more. Trend line right here. Boom, boom. All right, so it bounced off the trend line. Once it bounced off the trend line, it's another way you can tell. Once it bounced off the original trend line, boom, it'll go back down. Bounce off the trend line, boom, go back down. Bounce off the trend line, boom, go back down. Okay, once it breaks the trend line, we're going back up. Okay, so we're now going back up. It broke the trend line, so it's probably going to go back to 1785 by the end of the day. All right, and so we just play by ear. I got out once I started seeing the wicks. Once you start seeing it wick, you know that that trade is wicking. You know, I seen it start wicking on the 1 hour. I seen it started to wick right here. Once I started seeing it wick back up, I got out the trade. Okay, it wicked it all the way down to almost to our area. It was close enough. It got to our area of interest where we were 1780, where banks like to trade at. And once it got to that area, we was out the trade. All right, so you know, practice your trend lines. You don't really need all this, but you know, you could just look like haven't used any indicators except for the trend line, and that's really about it. And just going off of candlesticks and seeing what price action is doing. Price will always retest before heading back down in that overall direction. So if you miss the first direction, it's going to retest. So just wait for the retest before you get in that trade and before price goes back in that overall direction. All right, so it's your boy Nature, aka Nature. Gang.